Hello, trading is closed on September 16th, 2022. Let's do our disclaimer, go over our calls, and make some predictions. The weekend's also the time when we typically take a look at the longer term picture. It's my trading plan for the 19th of September, which is Monday. Please remember I can be completely wrong, and any trade you make should be at your own risk. I'd appreciate it if you click like and tell your friends about the channel. Look for the pattern with the early low. Tends to be a rally day with a high in the final hour. We got that. We had a few targets. I thought they might not print, and they didn't. The optional target will forget. These other targets, 39, 49, 29, 39, 45, 13, will add to the list. They actually have a little time to print within their preferred time frame, but by early Monday, they will have failed to do that. We have a new target from today's patterns, 38, 47, 49. I don't think it's a lock that it'll print, so I'm going to call that one an increased risk of failure too. This is actually a pretty positive pattern if you ask me. We gap down, hit a low, hit a lower low, closed over all the lows, and even over some of the highs. All we have to do is maintain that Monday, and we should see higher prices. Of course, if you gap down, the idea is killed. We got an ultimate sell signal in the afternoon. Here's the minimum. We got more. All these moves were called false. They've retraced. The last one hasn't retraced. Gives us a target of 38, 47, 49. Once again, you have conflicting signals because that's negative, and this recovery is positive. And more often than not, it's resolved by gapping and moving promptly outside the day's range. And usually when you rally on a Friday, you're going to follow through Monday. Friday's the hardest day to reverse a decline like this because retail customers are reluctant to take long positions when the weekend of illiquidity is approaching. When you move down this smartly, move lower, and then can't hold it, it's actually a sign that selling might be done, at least for the short term. This is the Marks TDST line, 39.2105. One full bar under the line is his support level. If we print a bar completely under this one, under this low, support breaks. You still have to follow through with going under that close by 1 cent. But this is his support level, and I'm not a big fan of candlesticks, but for people who are, this is a hammer, which is a reversal formation if we follow through Monday. Well, here's the daily chart. We drew this trend line before. I'm not really convinced it's broken. Still looks like a good trend line to me. If we're going to keep declining, we really should gap under it or else it won't stick. We had this big decline. Here's the close. We traded under these two prior lows, but then closed over them, which is a major accomplishment. Still has to be maintained at Monday's open. We gap under this, all that positivity goes away. But the failure to follow through after we had such a good start to the downside and then couldn't deliver the crowning blow is another sign of strength. Well, we counted this as 1, 2, 3, and I had counted this as 4. but it's possible it's an A of an ABC, because now there's a clear count showing this to be an ABC down, which should make this A and this B. And if that's the right count, which we don't know yet, should have a wave C up, and then 4 wouldn't finish here, it would finish here. I don't think we're going to go as high as we did here because we came within pennies of the overlap. So you're going to have some kind of Fibonacci relationship with, if this is A and this is B, which we don't know yet, C and A should have some kind of relationship. Let's focus in just on these waves. Well, here was 3, and we had an ABC, and instead of calling it wave black 4, it could be A. And now you have an A and a B, and C is equal to 61.8% of A. So it's possible to count this as being complete. And this could be 1, this could be 2, we could be starting a wave 3 up. Now it's possible to calculate a target for this rally. Doesn't mean it's the only target, but we have balance around 39.71. You can set this to 23.6, then that's 1, and then from the bottom of 2, you get about 39.71. And in fact, if you take wave A from its origin to its ending, you'll see that 61.8% of A would be a perfect fib end for wave blue C. So we have balance of the waves around 39.7105. Now if that's the end of wave 4, if that works, and then take waves 1 through 3, the origin of wave 5 is the end of wave 4, and at 61.8%, you come up with a price of 37.1048. Now, if you remember, we previously had a target 37.0628, so that's under 4 handles away. So this, because this works, doesn't mean it's the only count that works, but we'll pencil in, if this is the right count, we'll probably know that early Monday if we gap up. If it's the right count, we'll know if we hit around 39.71 and stop, that the waves balance out around 37.10, which is close enough to my target around 37.06. Just because it worked doesn't mean something else won't. These are my calls for the patterns of next week. Monday's pattern has the early high, we could still gap down. Signals are mixed. It's positive, we gap down, hit a lower low, closed over all the day's lows. Day-long rally on Friday into the close in particular nearly always follows through Monday morning, but it's quite bearish if we gap down instead. Won't know that until Monday. Sentiment indicators remain at levels compatible with a decent rally. We have a hammer on the daily chart, and the Marks indicators say we're at support. The wave count can be counted as an ABC down. That's all bullish stuff. But what is bearish is we have a lower target, and according to the rules, the commonest thing, not the only thing, is a gap and prompt move outside the day's range. The odds favor gapping Monday and trading promptly outside of today's range. Most of the time, I think this gap is going to be up, but if we gap down instead, the low 3700s remain as a viable target, and that's where I think we're going to end up before this is all through. I just think that today's action opens the door to have a little recovery first. Monday's pattern has the early high, and that's today's call.